Welcome to my Pilates for lower back pain series at home. Starting with the cat-cows, you're going to push through your palms on the exhale. Inhale, drop the belly around the spine. Exhale, pushing the crown down towards the mat. Inhale, crown and tailbone back up to the sky. And we're doing these in real time so you could follow along. Exhale, pushing everything up to the sky. Inhale, back to neutral spine. And from here, we'll move into tail wags where we'll lift our right leg, hovering over. And instead of up and down, we're going left to right. So heel and crown of the head, turning left and right, getting a little bit more mobility out of that spine. Moving back into neutral spine, re-engaging our center core before we move into our left leg hover and turning left, then right. Our heel and our crown both go left and right, side to side, getting that mobility out of the side body of our spine. And for the next few exercises, if you have a ball, go ahead and grab it. If not, no worries. None of these exercises require a ball. Starting with bear holds, I'll put the ball in between my thighs, tuck the toes, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, ready the core, and push up into the bear hold. In these holds, we're pushing into the ball. If there's no ball, no worries. And then pulse down, pulse down, pulse down. You're not leading with your hips, you're leading with your knees. Back into the hold, pushing through the palms. Pulse, pulse, pulse down, pulse down, pulse down, hold. Make sure you're straight, spine is in neutral, and rest into child's pose. And for this 25-minute workout, I'm using a resistance band, a ball, and I have 5-pound weights. So after this move, feel free to grab those. If you don't have them, no worries. You can use it without. I just want to share so that way you're prepared as we move through the rest of these exercises. For this next move, we're going to move into donkey kicks. So again, if you have the ball, put it behind your right knee, and we're going to go ahead and kick up. Spine is neutral, core is pulling back towards your spine, heel is in flexion, almost like you're stamping up in the ceiling. And if you want a little extra, push into your right palm and lift up your left palm, and then finishing with pulse at the top. Pulse, pulse. And this whole time, we're just going to imagine we have a cup of water that we're balancing on our back. I like to put my hand flat behind my back, so that way I'm basically balancing a cup of water and I know it's not going to spill. With donkey kicks, we shouldn't have that rounded back like we do in cat-cow. And moving on to the left side donkey kick, pulling in the core, making sure you're in neutral spine. Your flexed left foot is stamping the top of the ceiling, and you're pushing into your left palm, really feeling that engagement. Kick, and we finish with a pulse, 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 keeping that bottle of water, glass of water from falling. Great job. From here, we move into what I would call almost like a forward roll. We're still on all fours, pushing our right hand into the ball to get that extra work. If you don't have a ball, you could just hover, or you can use sliders if you have those, or a towel. Moving to the left hand, pushing into the ball or the towel, feeling that resistance, keeping the core engaged, and getting that tricep, a little bit of the tricep dip in the opposite arm that's pushing down. Perfect. And now we're going to do some rotations. So the right arm will push into the ball to the left side, and you're getting that extra core tweak because you're pushing into the ball or the towel and pulling up. Slow and controlled is the goal here, switching to the left side, pushing into the ball and up, feeling that extra bit of resistance, keeping that core tight as we rotate. And as we finish out here, we're just going to go ahead and give our spine a little bit of a reset, left to right, up and down with the cat cows and the tail wags. Before we move into assisted planks, which are some of my favorites. If you don't have a band, no worries. You can just stay on your knees, or you can just hold a plank. I like to use assisted bands so that way I could get the full depth of the push-up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. And this is perfect before we move into our upper body series. Starting with serve the platters, we're going to start with our elbows tucked tight towards the body, palms facing up. Slow micro movements in and out. Exhale, elbows tucked in. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale in, inhale out. Exhale in, inhale out. Moving into external rotations with the palms facing towards each other and the elbows still tucked towards the side. Leading with the palms, keeping the elbows tucked towards the side. Moving into lat pull downs or around the worlds, elbows still tucked towards your side, and as you push up, the weights slightly touch, or there's just a small gap. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale, everything contracts, inhale, pushing in. From there, we move into goalpost, where the elbows are in line with the shoulders, pushing up towards the ceiling, making sure that the elbows don't go past the shoulders. Up, down, up, down. Moving into reverse grip bicep curls. And for this, I like to do a lot of combo movements, so that way we keep it low impact without needing the extra weights. But if you want a little bit more intensity, feel free to up the weights to 10 pounds. I keep it small because, again, the combo movements with the little weights is still going to get you pretty intense. Moving into regular bicep curls, normally I use 15 to 20 pound weights, but again, since we're doing combo movements, we're really fleshing out the lower part of this movement, and then with the combo, we'll do the upper part of this movement. Moving into the shoulder press. Elbows are in line with the shoulders, palms are facing towards you, pushing up to the sky, going no further than below your breast line. And into that combo movement, got the lower part of the bicep curl and into those presses. Moving into chest flies, leading with the elbows in line with the shoulders, palms facing each other. Elbow goes out and in, out and in. And finally, we end with the tricep extension. Elbow is bent in a 90 degrees behind us. As we have the palms facing each other, we extend, pull, extend, pull, extend, and pull. Right now you'll see that the palms are facing each other in the pulse. I like to pulse with my palms facing the sky. Pulse, 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 and rest. Shake it all out as we get ready for our side lying series. Moving into our side lying series with our head on our left bicep and our right leg flexed and working. We're doing some light pulses here. And the goal here is to have our left side body slight gap in between the side body and the mat. You should feel almost as if somebody's coming and reaching at your ankles and pulling it out and up. And now we move into a little bit more of a rotation with the knee pointed up towards the sky. Flex foot down, pointed toe up. Flex foot down, pointed toe up. And with this side body, it's okay if there's no gap because you're fully going up and down. So there shouldn't be a gap in this one, but we're making sure that our pelvis isn't moving and rocking all over the place. That's kind of the main goal. And from here, again, you can keep your head on your bicep. We're moving into some kicks. So with this, it's a flex foot kick forward and a straight pointed foot back, no further than your mat. And if you want to do 2 snipping reps, it'll be kick, inhale, inhale, and exhale, back. Inhale, inhale, exhale, back. Awesome. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side. So moving into our right side, head is on your bicep, body is slightly in a V shape. That is important. You see the flex foot for the lift, lift, lift. And I know you can't see it as well, but there is a side gap between my right side and the mat. Make sure you're keeping that. That shows that you're in neutral spine. And then we'll inhale, kick, kick, exhale, push back. Inhale, kick, kick, exhale, push back. Inhale, kick, kick, flex foot, exhale, pointed toe back. And we'll meet back into center. Awesome. And then left knee points up, pointed toe up, flex foot down. Pointed toe up, flexed foot down, up and down, up and down. Really good to get the blood moving, everything pumping and circulating. Amazing work. And then we move into some of our resting, breath work, and back series where we're kind of laying on the ground. This is some of my favorite parts, and it's great for restoring the lower back after sitting at a desk all day, or if you've been flaring up lately, this is the perfect part that you're going to want to do, definitely. So for these exercises, you can grab a ball, a foam roller, or you could just do it yourself on the mat. I like to get a little bit of the inversion, so that's why I'm using a ball here. It helps with that decompression of the spine, and it also allows me to do deeper pelvic tilts, more so than just if I'm doing it on the mat. Moving into some adductors or some hip flexion kind of movements, go ahead and center yourself on the ball if you are on one or you're balancing on a foam roller. And then we'll open our legs, feeling the gravity pulling down our legs, getting that loosening in our hip flexors. This is perfect if you've been sitting all day. Everybody holds a lot of tension in their hips, so it's really good to kind of hold this position for anywhere from 20, 30, I wouldn't go more than maybe 45 seconds. Keeping that belly tight and controlled, we'll just do a slight sway left to right, almost like a corkscrew motion as you move into mat 2 and 3. Just loosening up the spine, getting more depth into that hip flexor. Mine are tight. Goal would be to do this middle splits, but we're nowhere near that. Coming back up to center. And then we move into a little bit deeper of a hip flexor stretch. Holding this position, the ball gives me some more inversion. So it's a deeper stretch than if I was just on the mat on my right leg. Transitioning into that left leg stretch, holding the right knee, feeling that depth of the hip flexor stretch on my left side. Really balancing, engaging the core here. And with this hip flexor movements, feel free to hold the position as long as you want, whatever feels right to you. I like to sit here and just breathe deeply through. There's really no right way or wrong way to do this, just as long as you're kind of holding it for a little while and really not shifting that pelvis around. Moving into single leg stretch here, where we're alternating left and right, making sure that the pelvis isn't moving crazy side to side, engaging that core, pulling the belly button down to your back, the back of the mat, really focusing on moving and breathing through those. And from here, we move into marches. Again, same thing, keeping the hips still, dipping down either the heels or the toes. It's a little bit more in depth as we're on the ball. But if you're on the mat, same thing. You're not moving your hips, your pelvis. You're really balancing a cup of water in your pelvis. And as we transition, I like to do a little bit of an in-between rest for a neutral spine, just to give it a little bit of the break from doing the different inversions and core work. And here it might look like nothing's happening, but when we're in neutral spine, the hip has a chance to feel a little bit of the release of the tension while it's floating in space. And from here, I like to move into a butterfly. Same sort of thing. We've had enough of a break between the adductors just to give us a little bit more of that space and release of tension in our hips. And then while I'm on the ball, I'm also able to keep my spine in neutral, giving the perfect setup to pelvic tilts. And so here on the exhale, we tilt the pelvis or the tailbone up towards the sky. On the inhale, we tilt the pelvis down towards the floor. Inhale, everything expands. Exhale, everything contracts. Inhale, tailbone goes down to the floor, belly expands. Exhale, tailbone goes up to the sky. And on that final contraction, we'll move into marches because we finally got a really good contraction of our abs. And we're really locking in on not moving that pelvis. It's a different type of march, not starting in the sky, but single leg. So we're not shifting pelvis left to right. We're really engaged in that core. And moving on to some core work now that we're fully properly engaged. Give yourself a little bit of that chest opener if you have the reformer, not the reformer, if you have the foam roller or a ball. Since we sit like shrimp all day, it's really good to kind of give your body the undoing of that. Moving into ab curls. Inhale, exhale, everything goes up. Inhale down, exhale up. And as you exhale up, the gaze shifts in front of you, no further down than your knees. And then we'll move into the hundreds. And that's where we're pumping our arms. For me, my legs go into tabletop. If you want less, you could keep your bottom of your feet down. And then moving into double straight leg stretch. Very subtle movements, really just using the core and the breath. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Gaze can shift to the sky. And then back into our hundreds. We're pump, pump, pump like we're going through molasses. Pump, pump, pump. Inhale, 5 breaths sharp. Exhale, shh, 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 shh. And I like to finish with what I call is rope climbing. So it's really just the palm slightly going above the other palm. Get that extra bit of rotation in your body. It's a real good finisher for any of the core work. And now that we're finished with the ball work, moving into articulated bridges. Exhale, tilt the tailbone up towards the sky. Vertebra by vertebra goes up. Exhale, tilt everything up slowly, no further than your bra line or your shoulder blades. Slowly, one by one, pushing through the heels and vertebra down. Exhale, tilt the tailbone up, vertebra by vertebra up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, vertebra by vertebra down. We repeat this as many times as you want. If you have a band, it's a perfect time to put it on there so we can get a little bit more spice from maybe an abductor. On the ready inhale breath, we fill our lungs. Exhale, tilt the tailbone up to the sky, vertebra by vertebra, pushing into the heels, stopping at the shoulder blades, and back down. Inhale, resting breath. Exhale, tilt the tailbone up towards the sky, vertebra by vertebra, slowly pushing up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, vertebra by vertebra down. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale at the top. Vertebra by vertebra, slowly going up one by one till we get to the top. Inhale at the top. And we'll do some abductors out to the side with the band. Just get a little bit more of that working bridge. Perfect. And rest. And moving into our final set of articulated bridges with a little bit of a pulse at the top. Pulse, 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 pushing through the heels. Pulse, 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 pulse. And then moving into abductors, kicking the knees out. Pulse, 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 and slowly lowering back down. Moving into squats with band work, slowly warming that up, making sure that we've got the core engaged, the tailbone tucked just a little bit, getting the depth of that squat, not rushing through the movements. Inhale down, exhale up. And at the bottom, we'll do another set of abductors where we're pushing out, out with our knees, out, out. Next, we have some mobility and trunk work. I want you to start with your left foot forward and your right leg diagonally back. We're going to slowly pump the arms, protecting our back with that 45-degree angle, really just gaining confidence in being able to balance. From there, you're going to have your right leg meeting your hands, pushing out and in. Inhale out, exhale, contract everything in. Inhale out. And if you feel like you're off balance, just move into the pump. Just so that way you can stay mobile. And if you feel confident, just add that right leg back into it. And as we make the switch, I want you to go ahead and start with your right leg out in front and your left leg diagonally back. Get that balance. We slowly pump the arms as we gain more confidence, keeping that lower back protected with that angle. And as we feel confident, we will slowly start introducing that left leg as we exhale in, inhale out, exhale in, inhale out. And after some trunk, we move into standing extensions. Slowly tilting your head back, trying not to sway. It's the standing version of a half cobra or a swan. And this is really good for all of us who sit for 7, 8, 9 hours, really loosening up the back and getting us in the proper space for the next day. And the final one, we'll get full down into squats, slow and steady, touching the ground, really feeling that depth of the movement. Follow along for more Pilates tips. See you on the mat.